opportunity to look at LinkedIn Today, which is a product. Really, it's about a curation of all the most shared articles in your network. So when you get up in the morning, if you're in the finance industry, you can just go into LinkedIn Today and you'll see what all of your colleagues in that industry are reading. And it's not limited to your industry. You can sort of configure it to sort of have the industries that are of interest to you. So for me, I have internet and social media. I have nonprofit. So you can really sort of engage in fashion. I have so you can really engage in the markets that are of interest to you. But it just basically gives you a quick snapshot of what's going on. So when you're going, you're on the go and on the run, you've had a good visibility to sort of what's going on in your industry. And the last part is really about research. The sky's the limit, but it's really a great opportunity. So researching people is huge, right? So you're going to run into a meeting, you're going to an interview, you're going out on a date, whatever. I mean, you're going to get more out of, you might get stuff out of their Facebook page, but you're also going to be like, okay, so what does this person do for a living? Do I know anything about where they work or what have you? And then also with companies, you can really begin to sort of research, follow companies, follow their products, see if they're hiring, see where their employees, if they're losing employees, where their employees are going. There's a whole series of analytics and information that you can actually gain. All of the site is searchable, so if you're actually looking for specific information, you can search the status updates, you can search the groups, you can search the questions and answers. So it really gives you that ability to be able to search and do some research. So really when you leave, I just want you to think about, what is your social or your professional brand and what does your profile look like? Have you just kind of, got a few things in there, or should you really showcase yourself in a better light? Supercharge that network, think about how you want to build out your network. Everybody's a little bit different. Some people will kind of connect with anybody. I typically just connect with people that I've interacted with on a business perspective, right? Because you want to make sure that if someone comes asking, that you can kind of make that introduction, that you would feel comfortable with that. Listen and participate. So, be aware of what's happening specifically in your industry, or if you're looking to get into a certain industry, and engage and participate. Be a thought leader, so market your expertise. Don't be afraid to sort of, cast your opinion, give examples of where you've had successes or even failures, but to really participate. And then follow and share. So it's really about, following the news and getting those professional insights. That's it.
Thank you, Nicole. It is quite surprising. You need a break, guys. It is quite surprising how many contacts you could access through LinkedIn. And I just wanted to share with you, sometimes you are not looking for 10,000 or 10 million of people. When we were looking for speakers for this event, we were looking for 3 people, actually. And we didn't know anybody in LinkedIn. We have to say that we got to LinkedIn through LinkedIn. It was great. And I think your PR office was quite surprised because they got the request from several fronts. So LinkedIn works. Our second speaker is an expert in social media, and his face may be familiar to many of you, as he has a technology column in the Global Mail online edition every 2 weeks. Duncan Stewart is Director of Deloitte Canada Research in the areas of technology, media, and telecommunications, also known as TMT. He's a member of Deloitte's National TMT Executive Team, a part of the Corporate Strategy Consulting Practice, a co-author of Deloitte Research Annual Prediction Report on Trends in TMT, and one of Canada's most sought-after keynote speakers on the future of TMT. We are really delighted that he is here tonight, and he's going to share what are the future trends on social media. So, Duncan, the floor is all yours.
This is a terrible, terrible room. There's nowhere to put my beer. I'll mention that next time we set this up. So thank you very much for being here tonight. Thank you for inviting me. One of the things that Nicole said, I want to just challenge very slightly, and I'm going to use it as a segue to what I'm going to talk about. But Nicole, I think you made an absolutely great point. This is what Facebook primarily is. This is what LinkedIn primarily is. This is what Twitter primarily is. But the weirdest thing is going on out there. People are using each of the three major social networks in ways that you wouldn't expect. I think your point about screening dates on LinkedIn, that's a very social thing. I've got reporters who contact me through Twitter. How weird. I've got people looking for jobs through Facebook. I mean, and my profile picture is of me in a bikini, so you know how unprofessional that is. But I'm gonna push back a little bit, Nicole. You know, you did a great service. You differentiated the three major social networks, and I love that. That's great. But I'm not going to play it the other way, and I'm going to say, okay, but what's common to them? What is the unifying thing that makes a social network social? What does that mean? How does it apply? And I think that no better slide to start off with than this one. How, aside from steroids, did Arnold Schwarzenegger get such big muscles? Gentleman there, how did he get such big muscles? He exercised. If you do a lot of curls, your biceps get bigger. And as you all know, your brain never changes. By the time you're 6 years old, it never grows again, right? Brain cells die after age 14 and they never grow back, right? Everybody knows that? You're wrong. Your brain has a thing called neuroplasticity. Now that's a kind of weird word, but what it means is that there are parts, not all parts, but there are parts of your brain that if you use them, they get bigger and denser and faster over time, just like muscles. Your brain has parts of it that are just like a muscle. You want me to prove it? If you take somebody and you make them a City of London taxi cab driver, and you look at the part of the brain that's responsible for spatial awareness, called the hippocampus. A lot of people think hippocampus is a university for African animals. It's this other thing too. That part of your brain, called the hippocampus, actually gets bigger the longer you've been a London taxi driver. The more you use that sense of spatial, the bigger it gets. Why does this matter? Because of this slide. I know it's going to be real hard at the back of the room. I'm going to have my email address, Facebook and LinkedIn up at the end. So if you want, you can email me or contact me and I'll PDF you the slides. This is a picture of people's brains across 126 people. This is from the Proceedings of the Royal Society of Britain, published on October 11th of this year. This data is 30 days old. That's how new the social space is, guys. They're still, the first studies are less than a month old. And what they did is they took the images, this is called a functional MRI, and what they did is they looked at the brains of people who had lots and lots and lots of friends on Facebook, more than 150, and then they took a picture of people's brains who had fewer than 150 friends. And the people who had more friends, the part of their brain related to memory, and the part of their brain related to sociability, and the part of their brain related to trust, was bigger than people who had fewer friends, at a statistical level, okay? In other words, now we don't know about correlation and causation and all that good stuff, but isn't it fascinating that maybe the more you use social media, the more social you become? Would we want our employees to be better at trusting other people, at forming partnerships, as working as teams? My great story in this one is always, I was running into a guy. He said, I hate it when my kid does his homework with Facebook on. You know what he does? He runs into a really hard problem, and then he gets 5 of his friends together, and they all work it out together, and they're cheating. They're cheating on them. And I'm like, dude, have you seen corporations in the 21st? We pay people to do that and do it well. Teamwork, collaboration, really interesting. So, this is your brain on the internet. We've had the internet for 20 years. Everybody here goes on the internet and you look for dishwashers. And then you find a really quiet dishwasher. And then you find a quiet, cheap dishwasher. And then you find a quiet, cheap dishwasher that's available tomorrow installed at your house. And you click buy. How does that feel when you click that? Isn't that great? I love that. Endorphins rush through my brain. It's a high. Then I go buy dishwasher soap and it's not as good. But that's what you do on the internet. What do you do on social? Anybody here ever bought a dishwasher on LinkedIn? Nicole? You use LinkedIn all the time. Any dishwashers in your past? No, not so much. What do? You relax. You share jokes. This is what Nicole was saying. It's a different part of your brain. So they've taken pictures of people's brains when they're on Google and pictures of their brains when they're on Facebook, and different areas light up. Okay? Profoundly different. Now, everybody's still with me? Because it's about to get a little weird. It's about to get just a little funky, a little crazy. Hey, how come I didn't get a musical intro when I came on? I was ready to bossa nova up here and... Okay, brace yourselves. Okay, this is the neurotransmitters in your brain. There's a third one that we don't need to get into. But the primary one, something called dopamine and something called serotonin. Certain activities that we do are really, really big on dopamine. And that's cool. You ever play a video game, it's all dopamine. Reward, motivation, pleasure, euphoria. Oops. Motor function, that's why your thumbs are so fast. Anybody here play Call of Duty yet? This is Call of Duty. This is COD, okay? Oh great, I got the bartenders playing along. That's always good. Always an encouraging sign. Compulsion perseveration. If you have kids and you call the kid to the dining room table and you say, please come for dinner, and they go just one more level, that's perseveration. Now that's all really cool. This is enormously motivating stuff. I can get people to fall in love with dopamine. I can get you to fight a war with dopamine. It's really powerful. A lot of advertising is about dopamine. But it's got its disadvantages. If you've ever tried studying while playing a first-person shooter zombie game, it's a little tricky. Because dopamine actually suppresses the parts of your body relating to memory processing and cognition. Serotonin, on the other hand, over-regulates all those things. That's what you are on social. When you're on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on Twitter, serotonin pathways are way, way overexpressed. What are we learning here? All of a sudden, after 20 years of the internet being really good at dopamine, there's this whole other pathway. The reason this matters so much is that I'll use Deloitte. Have you done the e-learning on compliance? Remember that one? That was fun. It was on the internet, and I was tested every 5 minutes, and I'm sure I passed it. I think I passed it. I don't remember. Because I don't remember a damn thing I learned. It was incredibly stressful. I've forgotten the whole thing. What if we made that social? What if groups of 4 of us at Deloitte learned about independence and compliance as a team, and we solved it, and we exchanged answers? We would remember it better. We would work as a group better. This is what 21st century organizations are all about. So I wanted to share that with you, and then in the next 5 minutes I'm going to run through kind of what are corporations doing, because we're all corporations. We all have brands. We all have sites. We all have reputations. If what corporations are doing can be a guide, let's go through some of that. I'm going to start off with everybody likes cookies. Everybody here a big fan of it? Anybody here, let's do it. Nicole, I can't believe you didn't do it. Who here is on LinkedIn? Pretty much everybody in the room. Who here is on Twitter? Not so much. Some? Facebook? Cool. Anybody a fan of the Oreo cookie page? I am. Me and 24.7 million other people. Why does 24.7 matter? Facebook ads are really, not so much now, but about 2 years ago, Facebook ads are a lot cheaper than Google ads, than web ads, than display ads, about 1/10 the cost. So the folks at Oreo went from a web strategy with 3 million uniques spending 7 minutes per month. They went to a Facebook strategy because they could save 90% on advertising. Yay! They did save 90%. In the same time, the number of fans went from 3 million to 24.7, spending an average of 28 minutes per month. Reach is up 8 times, engagement is up 4, and spend is down 90. Wait for it, that's not the good bit. You want to know what the good bit is? Selling cookies is hard. Any kind of consumer packaged goods is just savagely tough. If one of you Latin American MBAs goes out there and gets a job selling cookies, if you can move cookie demand 1 week versus the next as a marketing person, if you can move it by 2%, they'll promote you. If they move it by 4, they'll make you VP. 8, you're CEO. If you can move it by 10, you go into the cookie hall of